Mass murders, they putting it on the news. Devil lurking, he running up in schools. Babylon forming, better get the foreman. Hide deep in the cave, this our last warning. I can't run now, God need martyrs. Been trying to calm down since I got the orders. Name on the dotted line, nobody forced it. I'm on the front line, like David orders. I gave my whole life to his ministry. I'm dying every day till they finish me. Who knows what the wicked wanna do to me? I just pay attention how you using me. I'm a freedom fighter, Christ magnifier. Share seeds every day, watch him multiply it. Devil plant one seed, now we so divided. We don't kill that one seed, now we homicidal. Brother hate his brother from a dark place, but he smile in his face, man, he's so fake. I used to act slow like I ain't understand. Now I love to show that I understand. I don't need a poker face, show my whole hand. Killing everything fake in my whole land. I'm not the same man that I used to be. Something clicked inside, I see you using me. Write it down, make it plain like a eulogy. I got purpose in my life, you ain't fooling me. I don't trust any man with my whole heart. So I made up my mind to play. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. Welcome to another Bible study. This is our Sabbath Bible study. Praise God for this morning. Everybody I haven't spoke to on Zoom yet. Salute y'all. Y'all some soldiers becoming martyrs. But today we are going to continue in righteous by faith. And today we're going to be able to see God's heart in this Sodom and Gomorrah situation. And the reason I say that is because, you know, we come at it from a lot of angles, but I want to give a biblical perspective on this because I think sometimes we categorize things the wrong way. And so as we look at this, it's going to be beautiful. Is what I got to say. We're going to go start in Genesis 18. But before we actually start, you know me, I have a few questions. And if I say prideful relationships, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I ain't got to get all into the nuts and bolts of why I say prideful relationships. I will say that a lot. Prideful, full of pride relationships. So you'll understand what I'm talking about, or things of that nature. And because I got a lot of stats I'm gonna share today too. Well, not even a lot. I got a few that just blew my mind when I did my research. So what I want to do, I might not even start with a question, actually. I may just jump into it. Let's go to Genesis 18 because I think we're going to need to jump into it. But before I say this, I need to make a statement. With anything that anybody's struggling with, look at the word I just said, struggling. Everybody hear what I just said, struggling? This is important. If someone is struggling with any sin or anything, our job as believers is to offer help, counseling, therapy, blah, 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 right? But if someone is prideful in what they do, there's a whole different it's a whole different way to approach it. And Jesus understood that. And that's why he approached the Pharisees indifferently than he approached people who were struggling and needed his help. Y'all understand what I just said? Everybody?
Yeah.
All right. So pay attention as we get through this study today, that when I'm using struggling, it's way different than someone who's prideful about something. Very different. And I just want to be very clear. You know, struggle and prideful, arrogant is two different things. And so our job as believers is to stand for truth. Is that correct? He said, if you hold to my teaching, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. If you hold to my teaching. This is going to be important today. I'm making all these precursors for when we get into the story, that we're not looking at it from, you know what I'm saying, a burning situation, but we're looking at it from a biblical, how did God see things situation. That's why I'm making all these statements now. So let's get into Genesis 18. Where we left off was Abraham had been told that he's going to be a father. You know what I'm saying? He said by next year, you're going to have a child. That's where we left off. So it was 3 visitors that he had. One was the Lord and 2 other were angels. And so when we get into Sodom and Gomorrah, I want us to pay attention to verbiage. A lot of people, we've heard this story, but I don't think we've slowed down to actually see what's going on in the story, because man, it's beautiful. So let's get into it. We Genesis 18:16. We're going to start there. And I'm gonna read 16 through 21. And we'll stop and we'll go over it. It's gonna be beautiful. So pay attention. Uh, stay tuned. Stay locked in. I'm telling you, you will learn something today. I guarantee you, you will learn something today. It's Genesis 18:16. It says, when the men got up to leave, they looked down toward Sodom, the men, and Abraham walked along with them to see them on their way. Then the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do? Abraham will surely become a great and powerful nation, and all the nations on earth will be blessed through him. For I have chosen him so that he will direct his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right and just. This is all so important, so that the Lord will bring about for Abraham what he has promised. These are keys. Now watch this. Verse 20 and 21. Then the Lord said, the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great and their sin so grievous that I will go down and see if what they have done is as bad as the outcry that has reached me. If not, I will know. Oh, this is so important. I'm going to go down to see if what they have done is as bad as the outcry that has reached me. If not, I will know. This is important. Y'all remember, it's in the fifth seal. In the fifth seal that's coming up. Under the soul, there's altars. Under the altar, there's souls, right? That's crying out. How long, O sovereign Lord, before you judge? Y'all remember that in the fifth seal? Yay or nay?
Yeah.
Right. Y'all remember in Cain and Abel, it says your brother's blood is crying out. Correct?
Yeah.
All right. Guys sometimes use inanimate objects, things that can't talk, right? He used inanimate objects to let us know how he hears things or sees things or his perspective, right? So Abel couldn't talk when Cain killed him, but his blood spoke for him. Y'all understanding what I'm saying? Remember, remember we went over this in Leviticus 18. I'm gonna read it real quick before we go back into it because I think it's important. All right. I'm gonna read 1 through 5, and we'll understand where I'm going with this. The Lord said to Moses, speak to the Israelites and say to them, I'm the Lord your God. You must not obey, you must not do as they do in Egypt, where you used to live. You must not do as they do in the land of Canaan, where I'm bringing you. Don't follow their practices. You must obey my laws and be careful to keep my decrees. I am the Lord your God. Keep my decrees and laws, for the person who obeys them will live by them. And then he go, no one is to approach any close relative to have sexual relations. And he talks about sexual immorality. Then he get down here into verse number 24. He said, do not defile yourselves in any of these ways. Leviticus 18:24. Because this is how the nations I am going to drive out before you became defiled. Even the land was defiled. So I punished it for its sin. And the land vomited out its inhabitants. Even the what? What was defiled?
The land.
The land. So he punished it for its sin, and the land vomited out its inhabitants. And if you defile the land, verse 28, it will vomit you out as it vomited out the nations that were before you. This is important. What's going on in the land of Sodom and Gomorrah? We're going to get there, right? The land is crying out about what's going on in it. Y'all understand that? Everybody understand that what I just said?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. This is so important to get. All right. This is so important to get. This is going to help us in teaching, in our perspectives, in how we present the Lord to any type of social groups or anything. Understanding this, it's the weight of sin that's in the land. Y'all got it? Now watch this. Let's go back to Genesis 18 now. So sexual immorality is why the land became defiled, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rob, yeah, the land. The land, you could say that's nature. But the land, yes, the land. All right, watch this. Verse 20, he said, the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is so great and their sin so grievous that I will go down and see if what they have done is as bad as the outcry that has reached me. Everybody, we know about the full cup principle, right? We talk about that. Everybody has a measure. Every nation has a measure where the cup gets full and God acts. I'm setting it up. Verse 22, and we're going to start reading. The men turned away and went toward Sodom, but Abraham remained standing before the Lord. So who went to Sodom?
Abraham.
The angels.
Oh, Abraham didn't go to Sodom.
No.
Right.
Right, the angel, the men. Right. But Abraham remained standing before the Lord. So God sent his ministering angels, right? He sent his angels, destructive angels, whatever we want to call it. He sent them to Sodom. Pay attention to this part. Then Abraham approached him and said, will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? So God let Abraham know what he was going to do before he did it. Remember earlier he said, should I keep this away from him? Right? Who remembers that? Should I keep it away from Abraham,
Yes.
what I'm about to do?
Yes.
So watch this. Now he tells Abraham, and Abraham immediately goes into intercession mode. Is that correct?
Yes.
Will you sweep away? Who's in Sodom? His nephew, right?
Lot and his family.
Yeah. Will you sweep away the righteous with the wicked? What if there are 50 righteous people in the city? Will you sweep it away or and not spare the place for the sake of the 50 righteous people in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing, to kill the righteous with the wicked, treating the righteous and the wicked alike. Far be it from you. Will not the judge of all the earth do right? The Lord said, if I find 50 people, righteous people, in the city of Sodom, I will spare the whole place for their sake. And then he gets down to 45. Then he gets down to 40. And I'm just going to, then he gets down to 30. Then he gets down to 20. And then verse 32, and you can read all this verbiage. Then he said, may the Lord not be angry, but let me speak just once more. What if only 10 can be found there? He answered, for the sake of 10, I will not destroy it. When the Lord had finished speaking with Abraham, he left and Abraham returned home. So if only 10 righteous people is there, who's down there? Lot, his wife, his daughters, his sons-in-laws. Y'all got this?
Yeah.
Pay attention to what I just said. Not even 10 righteous people. Not struggling people. Did Abraham struggle with his faith? We saw that, right? But Abraham did what was right and just. Correct. Abraham did what was right and just in the Lord's eyes. But he struggled in his faith. He wasn't puffed up. Pay attention to what I just said. There's a difference in what I'm talking about right now. Righteous, doing what is right and just in the Lord's eyes. Now let's go to 19. Because I'm going to slow down in a little bit. All right. The two angels arrived at Sodom in the evening. And Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed with his face to the ground. How did Lot? How did Lot? Y'all gotta, yo, we slowing down. I need, if you was in the men's meeting last night, don't answer this. How does Lot know that these angels? How do Lot know that these are angels?
Discernment.
So
His
Lot
uncle
has a
discernment, or his uncle gave him a heads up.
Did he have a phone?
No, he did not have a.
So did Abraham call him and say,
Mommy, maybe a spy. I don't know, Jenny. I'm going on mute.
no, I'm asking. Let's go there. How did Lot know that these were angels? Somebody say he prayed for it. Faithfulness. They're different from the townspeople. They told him. He asked for them to come. Where y'all get all this information from? All right, we about to go somewhere. Watch this. The two angels arrived at Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed with his face to the ground. All right, let's go back a little bit real quick, because I think this need to be understood. The Lord calls Abraham out of the right? With Lot. Y'all got that? Lot was with Abraham a long time before he went off to Sodom and Gomorrah. Y'all understanding that, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So are there places in the Bible where angels show up and there's other people around?
Yes, a lot.
All right. So when the angel showed up to Abraham early on in his walk with the Lord, is it possible that Lot was around?
Yes.
That is very possible.
Y'all understand what I'm saying right now? Yay or nay? Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
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 That Lot recognized them.
So Lot had experiences through Abraham. Y'all understand what I mean when I'm saying this? So Lot knew. All right, now watch this. Now let's look at the verbiage now. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed with his face to the ground. My lords, he said, please turn aside to your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night and then go on your way early in the morning. Watch this next sentence. No, they answered. We will spend the night in the square. Ha ha. We got a clue right here. What did God say he was going down to see in the last verse? I mean chapter. What did he say he's going down to see? Huh?
To see if there were 10 good people left at Sodom.
To see if the wickedness.
Say it.
To see if the wickedness was just as bad as the outcry.
See if it's as wicked as I've heard. Watch this. Where do they want to sleep?
In the court where everybody else was out.
They want to sleep outside.
Watch this though. They wanted to sleep outside. Was that an intentional move?
Yes.
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 Very calculated move. So we'll read it now. We'll read it now. We'll know how strong this outcry was. No, they answered, we will spend the night in the square. Verse 3, 19:3. But he insisted so strongly that they did go with him and enter his house. Lot said, no, you cannot sleep outside. Please don't try to sleep outside. Look, y'all, we got to pay attention to Lot's experience. Why was he so adamant about them not sleeping outside?
he knew exactly what was going on there and with the sexual immorality and everything and how wicked they were.
He slept outside.
Y'all pay attention to what we saying. He knew, experienced, it's been going on, but was Lot comfortable with how they was operating?
No.
Probably not. No.
Watch what I'm about to say. Was Lot comfortable with how they were operating?
Yes, he was.
Thank you. If you're not comfortable with something, what do?
Leave.
Huh?
Leave.
Huh? Y'all got to pay attention to what's being said. He knew the violent behavior of the people that was there. And he said, no. You can't sleep outside. All right, let me give some examples. Let's use the modern day. If your friend from the suburb come visit you in the hood and be like, yeah, man, let's sleep outside. Huh? Are y'all hearing me?
Yes.
What you gonna say?
I said, nah, we ain't sleeping outside.
Nah, bro, you can't do that.
You tripping. Right? Why don't you want your friend to sleep outside? What happens around 2 in the morning? What happens in the hood around 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning? What happens?
It's not safe out there.
We funking.
Are y'all hearing what I'm actually what I'm saying now?
Absolutely.
All right, go ahead, Samsung. Come on, put a name up there, Samsung.
That's Angel. I don't know why it keeps changing, but in my mind, in my thoughts, it's kind of like there's a gay pride parade going on outside and a party, and safety is in the house. If you outside, they gonna think that you do what they do.
Are you on Bluetooth or speaker?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm under the dryer. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, cause like it's just like a weird noise.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. What'd you say?
I said it's more like there's a gay parade going on outside. A gay.
No, we're not using that language.
Oh yeah.
But
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna go back on mute.
All right.
So
watch this.
outside.
Huh?
An immoral parade outside.
No, but watch what I'm going with this though. Watch what I'm about to say. If you know in your neighborhood is so bad that when your friend come from out of town or whatever that, nah, bro, we can't be out here. But you're comfortable living there. Y'all paying attention to what I'm doing?
Yeah.
That means you're okay even if you're not okay. Y'all know it's a difference between having a story going on inside you and living it out. Y'all know there's this thing called an activist. An activist is not okay with what's going on. So what do an activist do?
Fight to change things.
Right. So do neighborhoods have activists?
Yes.
So neighborhoods have activists. That's people who they see what's going on. And look, I'm willing to risk my life for what's right. Are y'all paying attention?
Yep.
We're talking
That's
about
us.
righteousness by faith here. That's why I'm covering all of this story. I want us to pay attention to the human aspect of Lot. And we can understand it. It's important to understand it. All right. Can somebody mute that? You got that, Ace? All right. So an activist is like, it's horrible here, and I'm going to do something about it. And when you're comfortable, it's like, I'll just get a security camera, put my my gun under my mattress. Are y'all paying attention to what I'm actually saying? And it's just what it is. Huh?
That I'm gonna protect me mentality.
Right. An activist is willing to die for what's right. I'm talking to us for a reason. I'm talking like this for a reason. I want us to get it. There's a difference between being comfortable in a society or a social environment where it's violent and wrong and all this kind of stuff, and it's being pushed in your face and shoved down your throat and making you feel uncomfortable if you say something about it. Like, that makes us, when we allow this, it makes us what? Cowards, is what the Bible says. Because you're not willing to, you just willing to protect your house, your the roof over your head. Like, don't come on my, so you will put up no trespassing signs in your yard. Oh, y'all got to hear me on this. There's more to Sodom and Gomorrah's story than the one sin that is so, it's more. And we're going to get there. There's a difference between some people struggling and some people that's like, we strut to this. We march to this drum. We march to this beat. It's a difference. And that's what I'm trying to pull out here. That's right. Try to change or to get out from among it. So verse 3, Genesis 19:3. Lot insisted so strongly that they did go with him, and he entered his house. He prepared a meal for them, baking bread without yeast, and they ate. Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom, both young and old, surrounded the house. They called Lot. Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out so that we can have sex with them. Go ahead, Sister Susan.
Mikkel needs in.
Huh?
Mikkel needs in.
All right, Ace. All right. Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we can have sex with them. Stop right there. This is why Lot did not want them in the square. Or this, let's talk about this. Are these people struggling with sin?
No, they're reveling in it.
They're reveling in it. They're okay with it. This is what it is. It's a big difference between struggling and defiance. What is defiance? What is defiance?
Deliberately not wanting to.
Okay, deliberately not wanting to, right? It's also, defiance is, I want to kill God and take him off his throne so I can reign and rule. Y'all understand what I'm doing now? Defiance is taking the position of God. Defiance is taking the position of God. Struggling is, I have the Holy Spirit that's always gnawing at me, that's always trying to get me to do what's right, that's always getting me to be convicted, to push me to repentance. These people surrounded Lot's house. That's like the entire gang say, that them dudes you got in there, bring them out. We about to murder them. Y'all understand that? It's a difference. So when we talk about this sin, this prideful, arrogant sin of these men, we got to talk about it from the right place. It's no different. Let me watch this. If someone struggle in their identity, right, which is the majority of a lot of what's going on, because people are being groomed from young ages to have different pronouns on their names and stuff right now, right? So they're being groomed. That means this young, fragile mind says, oh, there are 60 things you can identify as, right? So this person grows up struggling in their identity, right? Watch out what I'm about to say. I ask this question all the time. Who are you? Most people say, I'm a child of God. What's your gift? I don't know. It could be this. It might be that. I feel like this. I feel like that. Does that sound like someone who struggled to know? Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Why do us as, that don't struggle with those things, right? Why do we still struggle even knowing who we are, what we're supposed to be doing, and all these kind of things? Why do we still struggle? Huh? Y'all got to answer this.
Because we're still trying to live for God. We're still trying to change our outer shell and change our inner heart so that we get closer to God.
So there's a difference, right? Even if someone having identity issues as young people or whatever the case may be, and they're struggling with it, there's a difference than someone who's totally defiant. This is what I am. This, I want that one. I'm gonna do this. The way I'm doing this is I'm trying to get us to start thinking like Jesus on certain situations. There's a difference between defiance and struggling with sin. There's a difference. And if we get the difference in our heart, we'll never judge and criticize people. We will offer help for the ones that are struggling to restore their identity in Christ. But if you're struggling with your identity and you're supposed to be the light and the help, and all you do when you see a certain one is you start to judge them and criticize them, and this is what God did to Sodom and Gomorrah and blah blah blah, and it's you getting out of you're a whack job. You're a nutcase because you're struggling with your identity. They're struggling with their identity, but the only difference is that you said that I'm the light. You think you're the light. Y'all follow everything I'm saying? Am I going too fast? Are y'all paying attention?
Yes, we're paying attention.
It is, the Bible says, be a righteous judge. A righteous judge considers everything. There's probably people as we grew up, we bullied that had identity issues as young men and stuff, right? It happens. I grew up around it. I had a hand in it. I said the words ignorantly, not knowing. Not even knowing that I was going to be a struggler, at some point, not knowing what I am or who I am or this or that, what God made me for, right? Not going to the Creator. Like everybody will have a struggle, but there's a difference in defiance and rebellion. Sodom and Gomorrah was filled with defiance and rebellion. They were not struggling. And I got some stats for us. It's going to be really good in a moment, because if we can see the true agenda, we can see the true defiance that's going on in the world. It'll bring a good perspective to everything that we, how we see things. All right. So watch this. Let's keep going. So they said, in verse 5, they wanted the men to come out. In verse 6, Lot went outside to meet them and shut the door behind him. Lot went outside. Was he comfortable? Did Lot know these people? Y'all got to hear it. Lot went outside to them and shut the door behind them. Y'all hear it?
Yes, he's very comfortable.
Let it marinate. They didn't want Lot. They didn't want Lot. They didn't want Lot. They didn't want Lot. Y'all hear that? Huh?
They already had him.
I don't know about that one. I ain't gonna go that far and just say that. But what I'm saying is they were comfortable with Lot, and Lot was comfortable with them. When you get comfortable with defiant people being around you all the time, I'm gonna show you. Y'all think I'm just talking, huh? I'm gonna show you in the story why I said that. When you get comfortable with defiant people around you, it starts to create a double-mindedness in you. You're gonna be unstable in all your ways. When you get comfortable with defiant people around you, you will become double-minded. Watch, it's in the story. When you get comfortable with defiant people around you, you will become double-minded. Guarantee it. See, an activist, that's I keep using the word activist. See, an activist ain't comfortable with that kind of junk. That's why they're standing up. That's why they're speaking out. That's why they doing, because they understand. Does the Bible say that a man is established through understanding? A man is established. You get established through understanding. Then you can be built on the rock. See, the problem is we struggling with identities. We don't know who we are, what we're supposed to be doing, and year after year goes by, and we don't know none of this junk. But we can. Oh, the Bible says that that's sin and that's sin. It's like, bro, you're not a righteous judge. Wise people can laugh at you because you're not even a righteous judge. You don't even know what you're supposed to be doing, your purpose, and all this, and you don't know if somebody's struggling or defying. You don't even know that. That's right. See, fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. So did Lot, who have met these people before through Abraham, did Lot go to Sodom as an activist or a civilian?
A civilian.
Civilian.
Do you go to your hood as an activist or a civilian?
Civilian.
All right.
Sometimes both.
Good. You should be one all the time. Sometimes both means what? Double-minded. See,
Agree.
see, the thing about being a light, you can't turn it off when you want if you're a real one. You can't turn the light off if like God done turned it on. You're going to be uncomfortable. So now, can you go incognito as an activist? Yeah. That's what Paul did. He said, I become all things to all, right? But I don't become a civilian. I have a purpose in what I'm here for. All right, I'm going to keep going. We getting somewhere. All right, so where I'm at in verse. Oh, Lot went outside. All right, yeah. Verse 6. Lot went outside to meet them and shut the door behind them and said, no, my friends. Huh? No, brother. No, brother. Don't do this, brother. Y'all heard that? No, my friends. Brother. Can y'all hear?
Yeah.
He was there so comfortable so long.
He was like one of them.
Come on. No, my friends, don't do this wicked thing. Watch how double-minded and unstable he is. A man who's double-minded is unstable in how many ways?
All.
Huh? All. Don't do this wicked thing. Look, I have 2 daughters. Ain't no kind of fight in him, no kind of activism in him, no kind of courage. He about to sling his daughters out there to him. A double-minded man. You see, the longer you say, I don't have a problem with this, those people get choose however they want to do and do whatever. As soon as you become like that, you're double-minded. I don't judge nobody. The Bible says be a righteous judge. Is that correct? You not judging makes you double-minded. If somebody can't come to you for sound judgment. Blessed are the people that don't walk in the counsel of the ungodly. That means you're supposed to be a righteous judge. But if you struggling in all, well, I don't even know what God told me to do. Or I don't know what that means. I don't get it. I don't research nothing. I don't study to show myself approved, a workman who needs not to be ashamed. Y'all got it? Man, take my daughters, man. Here, like, just don't do it to them. Take my daughters, who are virgins, unstable, can't even look. Not even a martyr.
Trade one wicked thing for another.
He's not even a martyr. You know, it comes to a certain point in all our life where you just stand, and like this, the stance is going to be the stance. When soldiers go to war, and they look like they're defeated, some will surrender. Others will be like, all right, we're going out in a blaze of glory. There's two ways to stand. Surrender to the enemy or go out with the Lord, be a martyr. All right, I'm going to keep going. Watch this. Look, I have 2 daughters who have never slept with a man. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do what you like with them. Do whatever you want with them. But don't do anything to these men. Watch what he say next. For they have come under the protection of my roof. Not my daughters. I ain't protecting them. I ain't protecting my daughters. Just don't. Y'all got it? A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Full of compromise. Feel just like I can't make a decision. But I did choose to live here. But I don't know how to make decisions. Go ahead, baby.
I had a question in the chat. Is it wrong for him to have tried to protect the angels versus his children? Can that be seen as him trying to do what's right?
No. What's a man's job?
Protect his family.
Of
serve
course.
God first.
So that's a simple, like, just think of what's a man's job. So I'm gonna just give my daughters away. Not even my life.
All right.
See, lions in the jungle, when they're protecting their pride, just say it's 2 lions that come. You know what if it's 1 lion against 2, do you know what that 1 lion does in the jungle? Who knows what the 1 lion does? What does he do?
He stands his ground and fights back.
That's right. And most of the time, if he hear them coming or something, he goes out to meet them. Because maybe he has some cubs at the house. Y'all getting it? He'll go out because you can hear a lions come from 5, you can hear a roar from 5 miles, 10 miles. So he goes out to meet them, and he's willing to give his life against the 2 or 3 or whatever. Watch some Lions documentary. Then what I'm trying to say, if it's a man's job to protect, like, I'm gonna give my daughter away. Like, here, just have her. No, man, come on, man.
I get it. So he should have went out and said, no, you have to kill me first before you come in this house, and not just, here go 2 girls.
He wasn't built like that, though.
But Abraham was his mentor. So what happened there?
See, watch the good question. So Jesus was all 12 disciples' mentor. What happened there when he died?
Good question, Brother James. I get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you think you finna make someone, you think you finna transform somebody inside? No, they gotta choose. They gotta decide that I want that. And Jesus, see, when Jesus came back, he said, Peter, you love me? Feed my sheep. Now do what I did. The same stuff you saw me do, start doing that. Come on, man. Don't matter because you train somebody up or teach them. where I'm at. Verse 9. Get out of our way, they replied. This fellow came here as a foreigner, and now he wants to play the judge. We'll treat you worse than them. Huh? Y'all can hear it now, huh? Y'all hear it now? Y'all hear the depth and the layers? I'm just being a good brother, pointing these things out. You came here as a foreigner. This fella came here as a foreigner. Now he wants to play the judge. You hear what they just said? They knew he wasn't about what he was about, what he was doing in this moment. They knew he was comfortable with everything going on. You want to play judge now? There was no activist in him. Oh, ye of little faith. Let's go. Let's keep reading. We'll treat you worse than them. They kept bringing pressure on Lot and moved forward to break the door down the door. No respect for him. But watch this. They have no respect for Lot, but he has a lot of respect for them. Y'all can see this in our world? Huh?
Loving people that hate you.
Look, nah, forget love. Move that off the table real quick. No, my friends, don't do this wicked thing. He respects them, but they're about to not kick his door in. They don't respect him. Y'all got to hear this in your life. In like what I'm presenting, you got to hear this.
Should have kicked the dust off his feet and kept it pushing.
Look, man, let me say this. I know what we can be saying right now, but we about to look in our society. Look how much you're comfortable with. Look where you're at. Look what you deal with. Are you 10 toes down with the Lord, or do you compromise here and there? I'm telling you, look, it's
so, bro.
Huh?
So you're saying, Brother James, is that if we aren't holding it down right now in everyday life, standing up when it's time for us to go on our mission, when God tells us to go talk, they ain't gonna listen to us because they gonna look at us like Lot, like, bruh, you ain't like that for real, bruh.
Say it again.
we wait on the time for our mission, right? Everybody's gonna get their mission call, right? In that due time. So everybody right now is in preparation, right? So every day you have to stand, you have to move accordingly as that time when God brings you up to move for your mission. You're not gonna be looking like Lot, as in right. You ain't never stood like that.
That's right.
Now God gave you that.
Look, you're gonna default back to your habits the way you normally are. That's why the Bible said if your foundation on sand, it'll soon be found out pretty quick. If your foundation on sand, it's going to be found out pretty quick because God going to put you in situations to test your faith. But if you're used to being an activist, you used to speaking out, you used to saying something, you used to standing up. Watch this. If you're used to standing up and saying stuff in your household and taking care of business and handling this and handling that and this, if you're used to doing that, ain't that how you going to stand when something pop off? If you're not used to that, please don't. No, what do you? No, I'm not prepared for this today. I'm not prepared for this today. Why does today have to be the day that you guys do this? Why does today have to be the day that the censer gets cast down? Oh my, I was never prepared for this. Are y'all getting what I'm trying to say? You got to get used to being a light and standing on things. If you're not used to that, like, for instance, I believe wholeheartedly that if any man doesn't stand as a man in his house, the wife is never going to respect the man and the children either. So if you're just for instance, if you're just a check or you're just money, right? Every week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If you're just that, I guarantee whenever you're trying to stand, the respect is low. Cause like, bro, for 10 years, you just been money. Like, you think that's gonna change overnight? You just was giving money for 10 years. And now you want submission from your whole household. Ain't gonna happen, buddy. Unless you ready to fight the good fight forever. All right, y'all hear? Y'all got that, right? So Lot is used to being comfortable and respectful to the defiant behavior, prideful relationships that are around him. He's used to being that way with it. He's just used to it. You can get used to defiant people being all in your space, doing whatever they want to do. Oh, y'all ain't hear what I said. You ever, if anybody has ever changed and then try to go back around people who used to know them and be like, man, you ain't, man, drink this, smoke this, do this, do whatever. You ain't, come on, bro, you tripping. They don't respect where you at until you start to show them. No, I'm on this. And your speech is different. Then what happens? They respect it. They tell you stuff like, I be watching you. I'm seeing you. I see what you're doing. Keep it up. Because you standing 10 toes down all the time now. That's what happens. All right. Let's keep going. And if you not on YouTube or something, if you want to bring it up, I'm going to show something in a second. So if you want to be on YouTube also, if not, you can watch it later. You'll see the statistics and stuff that I'm going to bring up. All right, verse 9. They kept bringing pressure on Lot and moved forward to break down his door. But the men inside reached out and pulled Lot back into the house and shut the door. Then they struck the men who were at the door of the house, young and old, with blindness so that they could not find the door. I guess them going down, they was like, well, the cry is real down here now. The cry is real, y'all. The cry that I've heard in heaven is real. These people are off the meter, not even a chain. They're off the meter. They're not even on the Richter scale. Do we have any countries like that on this planet that's off the meter now? We'll see in a minute.
USA.
We'll see in a minute.
Oh,
we
yes.
we use, instead of that word, we say the 4%. We know we talking about.
Right.
Yeah. Yo, we look, bro. We learning. We got a new language. Remember, y'all responsible. You and Marcus are responsible for our language. And I'm up here.
Yes, sir.
I'm up here trying to give it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? All right. All right. But the men, they struck him. The two men said to Lot, watch this. Do you have anyone else here? The only reason Lot is getting out of this city is because of Abraham. Lot is just as what the city is. But Lot has this thing. He has a little. See, Abraham planted a seed. Lot still have a little faith. Remember when he saw them at the gate? Lot bowed down. Oh, man, come in and get a meal. And he still had this little teeny, beady, weeny, eeny, meeny faith. He still has it. Watch this. Do you have anyone else here? Sons-in-law, sons or daughters, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of here because we are going to destroy this place. Watch what they say next. The outcry to the Lord against his people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it. It's real now. It's real now. The outcry is real. And God has to do something about it. So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law who were pledged to marry his daughters. He said, hurry and get out of this place because the Lord is about to destroy this city. But his sons-in-law thought he was joking. I'm going to stop right here because I got to start sharing some stuff. Who knows how many countries have legalized prideful relationships? Who knows how many? I'm going to put the stat up here in a second on YouTube. Check it out real quick. Check it out. Somebody check it out real quick. Do the research. Who got it real quick?
30.
A little bit more. No, not 90%. Jim's the Artist is my YouTube channel. It's the same as my name here. 34. That's right. Good job. 34 countries have legalized. All right, y'all got that part? All right. Now watch this. I'm going to show it on my screen over here for y'all. I'm going to name each one real quick. Y'all ready to hear? I'm going to name them in order. Andorra, Argentina, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba, Denmark, Ecuador, Finland, France, Germany, Iceland, Ireland, Luxembourg, Malta, Mexico, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Portugal, Slovenia, South Africa, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Taiwan, the UK, the US, and Uruguay. Now watch what I'm about to do this time. I'm going to show y'all a map real quick of those countries. I'm going to show you the map on here if you're on here. Look at this map. If you could see it on here. Just check the map out. From the west, if you can see it, from the west, it's sweeping across the world. That's right. No Muslim countries, none of those. Just a few in Asia. Not India. But these places have other problems. We ain't gonna get into all that, but are y'all understanding? I want y'all to see the map to see the land that you live in. That's right. You see it? It's on my YouTube, Jim's the Artist. I just got it up here right now. I want you to see it. There's another stat that I want to show. In the countries and stuff too. So I want y'all to see that. Everybody got a good glimpse of it. I'm gonna take it down now. So give me 1 second. That's what it looked like. That's what it looks like. Yo, if you got, so we're dealing with this, but I want y'all to know something. Like our silence to defiance not struggle. Our silence to defiant behavior makes us double-minded. There's a lot of places that's not double-minded on this issue. Are y'all understanding what I just said? There's a lot of places that's not double-minded on this issue. Was Lot double-minded?
Yes.
Yes.
So Lot is double-minded, right? Go ahead, babe. You got it.
He was so double-minded that the angels had to pull his hand. He didn't want to go.
I know, but you done read a little bit further than
huh? Okay, bye.
No,
Sorry,
you read a little bit further, but it's cool. But we're gonna get there because what I'm gonna show the actual agenda of things is what got me. Y'all remember when we talked about like growing up, like if you're 30s and stuff like that. Like when we were young, we didn't see this stuff, right? Y'all remember we talk about these things, right? We didn't see this on TV, or we didn't see this, and things are like that. And no, silence against defiance, not a struggle. Silence against defiance. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying now? So silence against defiance makes you double-minded. So I'm gonna give a perfect example. That's a good question. Why does our silence suggest that we're double-minded? Defiance. Pay attention to the word I'm using. So these things are being pushed at your child's school, right? So if you don't have anything to say about your 6-7-year-old at a public school and these things are pushed at that school, right? Watch this. What are you creating in your child? Or do your child have a good idea of who they are, or now do they start to question like having the yin and yang effect in their mind? Huh? So your silence against defiant behavior makes us double-minded. And watch this. I'm using that as an example, but there's other things where people are defiant and you are silent on it. For instance, we have no problem. Watch out. We have no problem handling our children when they're defiant. Why do you say something if your child is defiant, but not when somebody else is around you? I need an answer?
Because you don't find out and look like, oh wow, you're like that. I don't know how to properly say it right now, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying.
Because we live in a nation where that's looked down upon.
Watch this. Mind your business, right? But in the Bible, you can't just mind your business if you're defiant, because God gonna show up. Like, if we're people of God and he's saying, I'll show up with this defiant behavior, I keep people out of lands for defiance. God can't be silent on defiance for too long. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And you can't either in your house. You can't even be defiant in your house. I mean, silent to defiant behavior in your house. I'm trying to get us to be stronger, more courageous. I'm trying to get us to understand that it's deeper than what you seeing on the surface and your perspective. It's deeper than that. Listen, it's a difference if someone's struggling with who they are, their identity, all that. It's a difference between someone who's struggling and defiant. There's a huge chasm between those two things. You help, you offer help. You look, Jesus offered the woman that was a prostitute help. She was struggling. She was broken. She was help, therapy. Get up, get right. Don't do this stuff no more. But why didn't he offer the same help to the Pharisees? Why he say your father is the devil? You looking for a way to kill. Why did he say that to them? But he said that to the woman. Y'all see the chasm, the difference? I'm trying to show us a big difference. If you're in a land of defiance and you encounter defiant behavior and you don't say anything, you could. And that's why you be shrewd. You got to know what to say, when to say it. But if you're scared to say something, I don't know how these people gonna think or whatever. If you're scared, you already done lost. I know. That's what I'm saying. Look, we are too desensitized to it, to where it's normal and regular, and this is just how the world is. But let me show y'all this is not how the world is. This is the world that's being created in front of you, right in your face. The reason you didn't see these agendas pushed this way is because I'm going to go through when each one of them was enacted. When do y'all think the first law was passed for same prideful relationships? When do y'all think the first one was passed?
1990s.
It was like, it was, I don't know.
The 60s.
Oh, was it 2000s?
Yep. Go look it up. It's all there. It's there for you. The first one, no.
First one when Barack Obama was in office.
No, that's U.S. I'm talking about it over the first one in the world. It was in 2000. The Netherlands. They were first to pass it in the year 2000. And then it was enacted in 01. Are y'all getting it? Now I'm going to go through and show y'all how this thing. So 2000 is when it was passed. Things like this were happening, but on a smaller scale before that. Y'all remember? A smaller scale before that. Now it's on a humongous scale, and people are having shows. They're doing news broadcasts about it. There's all kind of sitcoms and soap operas and things of that nature. That surrounds being pushed in your face. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So the Netherlands was 2001, Belgium 2003, Canada 05. Spain 05, South Africa 06, Norway 09, Mexico 2010, Portugal, Iceland, and Argentina 2010. US the first was in 04, but it was a national ruling in 2015. Everything is 2000 and I'm trying to get us to understand something. What am I trying to get us to understand? This is what I want us to get. Y'all just saw that map I put up there, that red map that's sweeping across the land right now. Y'all understand that we are closing in to what we call the end times rapidly. We're closing in on it. Y'all see we thought Y2K wasn't nothing, but it was a plan, and that's why they threw it in our face. Like the Y2K, the word, it was something that was going to be transpiring then, and it's been happening in our face. It's happening in your face, and it's becoming more loud, more, I'm going to kick your door down and come into your house. As soon as you turn on that TV, as soon as you turn on the phone, I'm all in your face. And you're going to take it. Because if you say something, it's going to make you feel uncomfortable by saying something. What is the best way to take somebody's voice? Make them feel what?
Fear.
Minority.
Make them fearful, uncomfortable. That's why you take a voice. Make them feel small, inadequate. You see, when you haven't signed up, when you haven't truly signed up to die, that's what happens. Someone can make you small in a moment, inadequate, uncomfortable, fearful in a moment. And it's happening all the time. But we are so desensitized to it that we lower our guns because we don't have wisdom on how to do things. All right, go ahead, Sister Becky.
You know, when you had mentioned when you say something, you know, and if you correct somebody or whatever the case may be, and you said they'll respond as in saying, mind your business. Millie goes, wow, Mom, that's harsh. And I said, yeah, it's very harsh. I said, that's what happens. People will answer you that way when they don't like what you say. And a lot of the times it's true what they say. She goes, oh, okay. But she understood that, you know, when you answer that way, now she knows, you know, mind your business. Am I saying something that hit a nerve? You know, like, is that true? That's why you don't like it? So that stood out to little Lily and I right now. You hit something for us over here.
Yeah, it's the thing about it, in our approach to defiant behavior needs to be wisdom. You know, we got to use wisdom because you want to say what God is saying in the moments. And if you're not saying what he's saying in the moments, you're saying what you're saying in the moments. We're going to go back to Genesis 19 because we just shared a lot. But now we're going to go back to Genesis 19 because I want us to see this mindset that Lot had. And even in this mindset, the Lord was still doing whatever he could to try to save this dude. All right, let's go back to Genesis 19. We're going to start back in 12, and then I keep reading and I stop. All right, the two men said a lot. Do you have anyone else, sons-in-laws, daughters, sons, or anyone else in the city belongs to you? Get them out of here, because we were going to destroy this place. The outcry to the Lord against his people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it. So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law who were pledged to marry his daughters. He said, hurry and get out of this place because the Lord is about to destroy the city. But his sons-in-law thought he was joking. So when we say, hey, man, since 1994, God is just waiting to seal the 144,000. And then he's going to, after their seal, the golden censer going to be cast down. They be like, ha, what golden censer? And these people who have a Bible, what golden censer? What you talking about? Right? They never read about the golden censer. You're a joke to them. They don't take you serious. That makes sense? They don't take you serious. What golden censer you talking about? Blah, blah. Like, yeah. Yeah, he's about to. What are you talking about? That's whatever. And perish.
That's not loving.
But it is loving. You warning and you telling and you doing everything in your power. Watch this. You haven't condemned them. You didn't condemn nobody. You just told the truth. You didn't condemn nobody. You told the truth. Your father is the father of lies. He was a liar from the beginning. That's why you hate me. He's a murderer too. That's why you hate me. And all I'm doing is telling you the truth that I hear from God. Is that exactly what Jesus said? But because you hate me, you are condemning yourself. Are y'all understanding? Yeah, we get it. There's wisdom.
Yes.
There's a way to talk. But if you don't even say it and you notice this is what's up and this was coming and you don't even say it, you're a coward. Outside is the cowardly. All right. With the coming of dawn, the angels urged Lot. Look at this. They have to urge him. He don't want to sell his house and move to the he don't want to sell his house and move on. Do not get attached to things of the world. So the angels urged Lot, saying, hurry, take your wife and your two daughters who are here, or you will be, or you will, Like, that's why I did it, because I'm going to show us something in one moment. Take them, or you, look, if you stay here, you know what I'm about to say? Is there this thing called the appointed time? The time has come. Is that a true statement? The appointed time, the time has come.
Yes.
If you are delaying, selling, moving, going somewhere else, and God is I'm talking about he giving you the information. He giving you behind the scenes information. There's going to be a lot of people that's alive when Jesus come back. Do you want to be one of them? I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that, me personally. But if he's giving you instructions, he's saying, I got some more work for you to do, basically. Even though you don't even know it. Let's go. He urged them. He said, you're going to be swept away when the city is punished. When he hesitated, this is my wife. When he hesitated, the men grasped his hand. When he hesitated,
Double-minded.
I told y'all double-mindedness seep into our pores.
It's crazy, brother. The whole time I thought Lot was the strong one and his wife was the weak one, when he was weak too.
Of course.
Well, she was weak because of him, because of his leadership.
Of course.
You're saying the wife is a reflection of the man. So,
but no, that's not always true. Let me say, because everybody have their own mind. I'm gonna tell, like, this is not always true. Everybody. Then Job's wife said, "Curse God and die" when trouble came. But Job was righteous. Then David was a man after God's heart, but he had multiple women and all this kind of stuff. So we can't make that like this is what it is. Didn't Sarah have her doubts? Zipporah? Like, you can't just say because it's the leadership. No. Then Jesus, who is the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, lead 12 men for 3.5 years and they still ran. Come on, y'all. You can't just say you can't chalk it up to the leaders. You got to chalk it up to the mindset of the people. Your mindset matters. The way you think matters. Even if you have a good, strong leader, the way you think matters. Because if your thinking is off and your leader is telling your thinking is off and you ain't changing it, that's on you. No man is going to be judged with his wife. And no wife going to be judged with her. It's, did you surrender? Did you submit? That's what it's about. Now, when you surrender to a great leader or good leader, and you submit to that good leader, and y'all on the same page, that's called a blessing. Right? Then doesn't the Bible says that the man is blessed and found favor when he finds a good wife, a virtuous one? Not just any wife, because God didn't even want them to intermarry, but a virtuous one. That's the goal. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Amen. That's right. All right. We're going to keep going. So he said, when Lot hesitated, the men, that's why, oh, babe, I'm the one to let you know. That's why we read slow. Like you said, you thought Lot was this, but no, that's why you read slow. This is called studying the word. And then everything starts to make sense. So you're right. We think one, but then we look at, oh man, he off too. Go ahead, babe. You got it.
Another thing too on the leadership, why we can't say leadership is not right or the flock is bad because of the leader. Also look at children. We can be the best parents, the most godly parents, and the children can still veer off and make their own decisions, which we may not agree with. That's
right. It happens all the time. It was happening in Israel. They had to stone some of the sons and stuff. When he hesitated, the man grasped his hand in the hands of his wife and of his 2 daughters and led them safely out of the city. led them safely out of the city, led them safely out of the city, for the Lord was merciful to them, led them safely out of the city, for the Lord was merciful to this double-minded, little faith having, unsure, always uncomfortable, don't care if people disrespect him type man. The Lord was merciful to him. As soon as they had brought them out, one of the angels said, flee for your lives. Don't look back and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Watch what he tell them. Flee to the mountains or you will be swept away. This next part, bless me. Look, I'm telling y'all, it's time to develop a communicative relationship with God. Not a relationship, because y'all know it's relationship over religion. No. Because you can have Lot's relationship, right? You want Lot's relationship? Huh? Who on here wants Lot's relationship with God? All right. Watch what I'm about to say. This next part, bless me. You want to develop a communicative daily relationship with God. Not a relationship where you dump and jump. You just dump your junk and you run off. You want to develop a communicative relationship with God where you're talking to him all the time in every situation, with your children, with your wife, with your friends, with your family, with whoever. You want to develop a communicative relationship with God, not a relationship, because the devil has a relationship with God. Do y'all know that? Everybody understand that?
Yep.
The devil has a relationship with God. You want a communicative relationship with God where you are surrendered to what he tells you to do, where he tells you to go, and what he tells you to be. That's what you want. You don't want to just say, I have a relationship with God. Is that, look, in the country that has legalized same prideful relationships, does most people say I have a relationship with God?
Yeah.
Watch this. In the country that has legalized same prideful relationships, do the majority of the land say, I have a relationship with God?
Yeah, we like to think we do.
Yes. Of course. We do. We like to, I believe in God. I've heard of him. I believe in Jesus. I've heard of him. Don't your Bible tells you don't judge? Like, they'll use your Bible against you. They have, look, they say they have a relationship with God. So what makes you different when you say you have a relationship with God? Do you have a communicative relationship with God where you surrender to what he tells you to do, go, be? Do you have that? Are you paying attention when you're talking to your children, how God tell you to talk to them? Are you paying attention when you talk to your family, your friends, your bosses, whoever? Do you pay attention to all that? Do you surrender what you feel in moments to what God is telling you to actually say and do? That's the relationship you want to develop. Go ahead, Nick.
I'm talking about Ezekiel though. It's just like that. How people that claim to know God and yet they live in worse. And there, he was basically claiming them to be worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. And that's just so. It's like they skip over in this country that claims to they believe in God, they know God, and they follow him and stuff like that. But it's like you don't follow him fully, or you're not even fully hip to who he is because you're not even moving as he's calling you to move. So it's just like you're allowing all these things to happen and not even making a stand.
Most definitely. 100%, bro. Let's keep reading real quick. Let's go to Genesis 19. We on 18 now. After they told him, flee to the mountains or you'll be swept away. Verse 18 says, but Lot said to them, no, my lords, please. Your servant has found favor in your eyes, and you have shown great kindness to me in sparing my life. But I can't flee to the mountains. This disaster will overtake me, and I will die. Watch this. Look, this is Lot talking to them. Here is a little bitty town over here. Oh, only a few brothers can hear me right now. There's a little bitty town over here, and it is small. Let me flee to it. It is very small, isn't it? Then my life will be spared. Watch this. He said to them, very well, I will grant this request to. I will grant this request. Watch this. The town was probably, listen to what I'm about to say. This town is probably on the list to be destroyed. Are y'all listening? Who can hear me? I'm crying from the rooftops, guys. Who can hear me? Who can hear what I'm saying? This town was probably on the list to be destroyed. But Lot, Lord, let me go to this town. Where I'm at. Then my life, okay, let me go over here to this verse 20. Look, here's a little town over here. It's near enough to run to, and it is small. Don't trip, because Lot is an older man too, just to let y'all know. He's an older man. Let me flee to this little town over here. Then my life will be spared. He said, very well, I will grant this request too. I will not overthrow the town you speak of. You want to develop a communicative relationship with God where he tell you where to go, where you could be and do. And you want to have a relationship with God where you can say, God, if I live here, can you spare me? Did y'all see? Who done saw this before? Who saw all these things before? Hey, the censer is coming. The golden censer gonna get cast down. A big part of the world is gonna be destroyed. It's gonna happen soon. Right now, it's to be asking God, can I go over here, Lord? Can you lead me over here? And he said, okay, I did have that on my list to destroy, but since you're going to be there, and I already know you, look, this little plot over here that you got, this little piece of land, God is merciful, faithful, compassionate. He hear you. If
I'm going to bypass it.
Huh?
I'm going to bypass it.
Look, here is a town near enough to run, and it's small. Let me flee to that town, Lord. All right. He said to them, very well, I will grant this request. 221. I will not overthrow the town you speak of, but flee there. How? Flee there in a year. Go there in a year. Look, make plans. Make plans to go there in a year. Make plans to go to that little town that's going to save you in a year, where your life will be spared. Listen, this is what all I'm saying is, if this is the relationship you have with God, cool. But if you're okay being a martyr, be okay being a martyr. Understand you signed up to die either way. But I'm trying to give us a nugget right here in what your communication with the Lord could be like. You can get out of the big states. You can get out the NYs, the CAs, the ILs, the TXs. You know, you got to understand what I'm saying. The FLs. You can get out. And watch this. And you can go minister and visit those places. You can go minister and visit those places and come back to your. I'm just saying, man, it's a way of thinking. Yeah, I know we hesitate. Like, God got to grab some people's hand, but you might not feel him grab your hand. He might have somebody on this earth, a vessel to grab your hand, and you ain't even recognizing that he's trying to grab your hand. All right, let me go. He said, very well, I will grant this request too. I will not overthrow the town you speak of, but flee there quickly, because I cannot do anything, until you reach it. I can't do anything until you reach it. That is why the town was called Zoar. By the time Lot reached Zoar, my bad. Zoar means small. By the time Lot reached small little plot of land, the sun had risen over the land. Watch this. Then the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of heavens. Hey, let me ask you. Thus, watch this. He overthrew those cities and the entire what?
Plain.
Destroying all those who live in the cities and also the vegetation in the land. But Lot's wife looked back and she became a pillar of salt. Let me stop there real quick. When the censer gets cast down, I'm going to go read something real quick. If people don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to read it real quick. Revelation 8. It says, Revelation 8, verse 2. I saw 7 angels stand before God, and 7 trumpets were given to them. Another angel who had a golden censer came and stood at the altar. He was given incense to offer with the prayer of all God's people on a golden altar in front of the throne. The smoke of the incense, together with the prayer of God's people, went up before God from the angel hand. Then the angel took the censer, filled it with fire from the altar, and hurled it on the earth. There came peals of thunder, rumblings, flashes, lightning, and earthquake. Right? That's the censer. Watch this first trumpet, y'all. Then the 7 angels who had the 7 trumpets prepared to sound them. The first angel sounded the trumpet, and there came hail and fire mixed with blood. Guess what that's called? Burning sulfur. The same thing. And it was hurled down on the earth. A third of the earth was burned up. Third of the trees were burned up, and all the green grass. Let me go back now. You can't be silent on defiance. What's more embarrassing than your child telling you to shut up in public, a 4-year-old? Shut up. You don't tell me what to do. Have y'all ever heard a child say in this land tell a parent that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I have too, yeah. What's more embarrassing than that? And then your response is, Jimmy, or whatever. Like, no, that is not good language. No. What's more embarrassing than that? And then, have you ever seen a child kick a parent in their leg or knee or something like that? Or try to hit them back?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Listen, understand where you live. Understand where you live. Understand that when you follow the Lord, you will be disrespected. Like Lot was disrespected. Because everybody don't have the same mindset around you. But the only reason you'll be disrespected is because they don't see a martyr. They don't see a soldier. They don't see an activist. That's why. At the very end, anybody who struggles in these areas where these men in this city were struggling in, we offering help, counsel, therapy. We here. Strong men of God who wants to guide you through those things. If there's women, we have some strong women to help guide you through these things in your struggle, not your defiance. Now, if you defiant, don't even come our way. I'm telling you. Like, look, God has built us to not be afraid of defiance. Me personally, I'm not afraid of defiance. I'm talking from a personal place. I'm not afraid of defiance. I will handle whatever needs to be handled in situations. I may not do it publicly, but if you know if we done had talks behind the scenes, I will handle stuff. You have to. I'm telling you, we have to have backbones. All right, let's go. 23. By the time Lot reaches Or, the sun had risen over the land. Then the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of heavens. Thus he overthrew those cities and the entire plain, destroying all those living in the cities and also the vegetation in the land. But Lot's wife looked back and she became a pillar of salt. And Lot kept running. Lot kept going. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and returned to the place where he had stood before the Lord. He looked down toward Sodom and Gomorrah, toward all of the plain, and he saw dense smoke rising from the land, like smoke from a furnace. So when God destroyed the cities of the plain, he remembered Abraham, and he brought Lot out of the catastrophe that overthrew the cities where Lot had lived. I'm going to stop there. Remember. All right. That's all right. Remember this. Our world that we're living in is rapidly. I'm going to show it one more time. I'm going to show it one more time for everybody so you can see the map. I'm going to show the map again, unless you don't have it. And you got it, cool. Look at our world. It's rapidly. And you are in the heart of it. Look, I'm talking to people that's in the heart of it, who have said, they're not bothering me, I'm not going to bother them. Oh,
It's
what
coming to us, Brother Jim.
I know it's already infiltrated your house. It's already infiltrated the minds of your children. It's already infiltrated. Like, what are you on the sideline saying? You sounded. It's there. It's here. It's right here in your face. The data is there. Let me show y'all. This is 17% of the world population. That 17% of the world's population currently have accepted. Listen to what I say. They've currently accepted. So these countries, this is a total of 1.35 billion people. They have willingly accepted this agenda. We willingly accept it also in how we operate. Go ahead, Sister Susan, real quick.
My picture came over of my grandson that lives in California, and he had a pink pinafore over his beige shirt and pants. So in California, it's rampant, and it's in our families left and right. I looked at that picture, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and you know what? And we should not be shocked. He told us this is going to happen. The agendas are the enemy. He says the enemy spewed out water like a flood. The goal is to overtake the believers. Look at the map. Is it happening? Right? So what we got to understand, though, is this is when we look at it from the right perspective. We say, I'm not being silent no more. I'm going to become an activist. I'm going to actively fight the good fight of faith. Actively. Now watch this. Not with an attitude. I need to make this clear. Not in your attitude type ways, like if you don't do this, you're gonna go burn in hell, and not that kind of junk. You got to know the difference between struggle and defiance. Defiance, you handle y'all understand it? Defiance, you handle it differently than someone who's struggling. If my child come to me like, Dad, I'm struggling with how I'm thinking, right? And all this kind of stuff, whatever. My child says that. I'm having, these thoughts in my head and I'm struggling. What am I going to do? Am I going to punish my child and say, oh, I can't believe it. I'm finna toss you into the sea and drown you. Like, no, you're not gonna do that.
No.
Right. But if my child is constantly don't care what I think, and all their thoughts is being shown and it's hurting other people, I'm gonna treat that differently, right?
Heck yeah. Yes.
Now watch what I'm about to ask. It's simple when I say it that way. Why don't we do that in reality? Reality is life that you're living. If you can take the sawdust or whatever, the speck or whatever out your eye, you'll see how to take the speck of sawdust, right? If you understand, like, yes, I have been in an identity struggle. Identity struggle is not like all gender. It's not that. Identity struggle is like thinking you're one thing and you're something else, right? That's identity struggle. That's what I mean. Not the stuff that modern days have said. So if you struggle, like, I don't know what if I should go to college or go get a trade, or that's an identity struggle. That's a struggle. So understand what I'm trying to say. It's fighting the good fight the right way, the way Jesus did. Understanding when there's a woman in adultery and she don't want to live that lifestyle and things of that nature, and she's a prostitute, I need to gently bring her. But if I have someone like, I don't care nothing about Jesus and doing all this and being crazy, I don't care. Y'all can, okay, like I gotta treat that differently, because there could be two things. What she could be possessed, or she is obsessed with being this way and defiant and brazen. The Bible is clear on these things. So you gotta, what I'm saying is you need discernment in all situations. You can't just say God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah because of defiance. You can't say, look, it could have been everybody in the land could have been doing incest, right? He would have destroyed it. Is incest sexual immorality? Was that on the list?
Yes.
Or everybody could be, because he didn't destroy the Midianites, the Canaanites and stuff. The Midianites could have been like practicing bestiality. Are y'all getting it? It's defiant behavior. It's not this sin and that's, it's defiance. And that's what I'm trying to get the message. I'm trying to get it clear. It's defiance. That's what it is. Defiance. Defiance goes in all of those categories. You got to be a crooked person to take your father's wife. You got to be a crooked person to take your uncle's wife, whatever. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. Jesus said, these are the reasons the nations were destroyed before you got in the land. And he gave 20-something sexual immoral ways. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring a perspective to this Sodom and Gomorrah thing. It's not the one thing. It's sex. It's immoral. It's immoral, defiant behavior. That's what it is. And now our land and these countries and stuff are trying to implement it everywhere. But there's some countries who, like, no, we ain't having it. You see it nowhere in India. A very small piece of Africa, very tiny small piece. I'm telling you, 17% of the world has willingly accepted it. Your silence is you willingly accepting something. I'm gonna read Romans 1 real quick. Romans 1. I'm gonna start in verse 18. I'm gonna start in 16. 14. My bad. I am obligated to I am obligated both to Greeks and non-Greeks, both to the wise and the foolish. That is why I'm so eager to preach the gospel. I'm obligated to Greeks, non-Greeks, wise people, foolish people, smart people, whatever you want to call it. I'm obligated. If you are a light, guess what? You are obligated to preach the gospel. He said, I'm eager to preach it. I'm eager to shine light in your struggling areas or in your rebellious areas. Or defiant. I'm eager to do that. I don't care if you're defiant or whatever. I'm going to shed light, and it's going to be a certain way that I shed that light. That's why we do spiritual boot camp. We're learning how to be that light shared. Watch this. For I'm not ashamed of the gospel, because it's the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes. First to the Jew, then to the Gentile. For in the gospel, the righteousness of God is revealed, the righteousness that is by faith from first to last. The righteous will live by faith. And that's what we on, the righteousness by faith. Y'all see it, right? The wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godlessness and wickedness of people. Watch this. They're doing it on purpose. They legalize it. It's called like, we're going to meet and say, you know what, guys, let's legalize this. And then we're going to throw a bunch of stuff at them. And we're going to do this. They suppress the truth that in the garden, God said, hey, man and woman, Adam and Eve, multiply. Let me ask y'all a question. Can same prideful relationships be fruitful and multiply? Huh?
No, not in the literal sense. No.
No. But you know, they create these laws and then they say, oh, you can adopt. And you can adopt how many kids you want to adopt. Y'all understand this? There is a wickedness and godliness that's going against the Lord. And it's 34 of nations have accepted that this is how we want to do it. We want to be defiant against him. We want to show that we can choose and pick for ourselves. Adoption is just as worse, man. The wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godliness and wickedness of people who suppress the truth by their wickedness. They're defiant. Since what may be known about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them, man, woman, it's plain, right? For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuse. There's not going to be an excuse. For although they knew God, they neither glorified him as God nor gave thanks to him. But they're thinking, hey, look at the map again. If you take a screenshot when you have their thinking became futile, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Although they claim to be wise, this is be best for society. I think this would be best for if a 4-year-old know that he could be 60 things, or she could, what? I think that's wise, guys, because what do parents know? Y'all hear it? Y'all hear it? We reading it because it's the truth. Their foolish hearts are darkened. Although they claim to be wise, they became fools. And you know what? Have you ever go watch one of these debates about it? I watched one yesterday, and it was this older guy talking. And I was like, bruh, every time he talk, when this woman is making a great point, he sound even more stupid. He sound even more foolish. It's like he's stumbling over his words, and he's trying to use big words to make it seem like that it makes sense, and it don't make sense. It's so obvious. I'm like, bro, is anybody else? And Piers Morgan, that was the guy who interviewed it. If you go look at Piers Morgan and Tommy Lauren, that was the name. I looked at that interview, and I was like, what is going on here? And Pierce kept interrupting the guy, like, bro, you was foolish. And it says, although they claim to be wise, they became fools and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images made to look like a mortal human being and birds and animals and reptiles. Remember I told y'all, bestiality was real too. Y'all hear me? That's why God said it in the command. Why you think they made things out of things like that? They worship. Look, let's keep going. Therefore, God gave them over in the sinful desires of their hearts to sexual impurity for the degrading of their bodies with one another. Gave them over. Look, you are so defiant. I'm going to give you, the devil was so defiant, I have to give you over to the way you think. I cannot force somebody to change the way they think. I only can sprinkle seeds and water and hope. Where I'm at. 25. They exchanged the truth about God for a lie and worship and serve created things rather than the creator who is forever praised. Amen. Because of this, God gave them over to shameful. What do they call it? Coming out the what? Y'all know what I'm saying. I ain't got to say the word. Coming out the, because it's a shameful thing. I came out when I was 12. I came out when I was 16. I came out. It's a shameful thing. It's not natural, normal. Who wants to let society know that I like animals? Nobody wants to know. Nobody wants to let the society know that. It's a shameful thing. My lust is shameful. That's why I hide it. That's why when you know, this is my wife. This is my husband. We're married. That's a beautiful thing people say. Y'all have a beautiful kids. Your kids look like mom. Your kids look like dad. Do adopted kids look like? Come on, y'all get what I'm trying to say. It's an obvious, real thing that God set up. He said, God gave them over to shameful lust. Even their women exchanged natural sexual relations of unnatural ones. In the same way, the men also abandoned, they left natural relations with women and were inflamed, burning with lust for one another. Men committed shameful acts with other men and received in themselves the due penalty for their error. Furthermore, just as they did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, so God gave them over to a depraved mind, so that they do what ought not to be done. They have become filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, and depravity. You say something, they are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, and malice. They are gossips, slanderers, God haters, insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They invent ways. Are they inventing ways? They look at a lot of stuff. They invent these things. They're inventing it as the years go on. Oh, let's invent it this way. Let's have it that way. Let's do it this way. They invent ways of doing evil. They disobey their parents. They have no understanding, no fidelity, no love, no mercy. Although they know God's righteous decree that those who do such things deserve death, they not only continue to do these very things, but also approve of those who practice them. They defend those who practice them. You're not going to win a case in court with this community. Sorry. We're all in the bed together. Hey, it's time to rise and shine. I'm going to read it. Y'all know I like this verse. Ephesians 5:14, he says, wake up, sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. Time to wake up, not be afraid. If you signed up as a soldier to die as a martyr, that's what it is. Leave it here on earth. You are alien on earth. Leave it here. If you signed up as a soldier to die as a martyr, leave it here on earth. No more silence with defiance. All right. I'm going to stop there for today. I really hope y'all got a new perspective on this Sodom and Gomorrah story. Please go back and rewatch it. We are not condemning no one. We are here to help. We are here to bring light. We are here to shed light. We are not here to say, God did it because of this. And we be speaking for God like, nah, bruh. Like he did that with people who was operating in incest, bestiality, all it. Like it ain't one thing. Well, it is one thing. It's called defiance. It's the most grievous sin of them all. Defiance, not struggle. Defiance. We are helping people who struggle with their identity and blah, blah, blah. Right? If someone came to say, look, I'm attracted to dogs, you're going to do what? Help them. Going to be a light. But if you see somebody doing stuff to dogs or whatever the case may be, and you like, nah, like this person just keep doing it. There's something wrong with this person. And let me show y'all what God didn't do with this. He made it their choice. He didn't put it on the devil. Y'all see that? God made these men and stuff, they're inflamed. He made it their choice. He didn't put it on the devil like the devil is doing this. Then he didn't do none of that. He put it on them. I needed to make that clear too. He put it on the Israelites to die in the wilderness because of their mindset. It was on them. It wasn't the devil messing with their minds. It was them. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's on you. You can choose today to sign up, be a soldier. Ain't there like 17-year-olds who sign the paperwork right now to go be a soldier? And stuff like that. So you can sign up right now and say, God, I want to be your soldier going this for like, forget that I'm not going to let, your name and be disrespected in front of me like this no more. I'm going to stand for what you stand for. Whatever you say from heaven, I'll say here on earth. What you pray, I pray. What you say, I say. What you go. See, it's a difference. You can sign that and say, let's get it. Starting today, let's go. And watch this. Soldiers follow orders. They don't condemn. That's all they're doing. They're following orders. They're not condemning. Good soldiers can judge a case too. Good soldier can see like, okay, this child right here need to be saved. Even though we were told to destroy the country, this child need to be saved. Did the angels, those good soldiers didn't they say, if you got anybody else in this city, go get them? All right. That's all I wanted to say. All right. YouTube and Facebook, I'm going to shut down. Thank you guys for joining us. Please go back and rewatch it. I don't see any questions here, so go back and rewatch it. Please share what you learned. Like I said, you don't have to share me unless you want to share the broadcast. Share what you're learning, though. Share what you're actually learning. Share it. Share what you're learning, because God cares about us. He does these things so we can learn about his heart 5,000 years later. You know what I'm saying? So his heart is all in this message. It's not about, oh, God wanted to destroy them because it is not. Yeah. He destroyed them, but he gonna do it the same thing to us too. And guess what? You can say, God, can I go to this little town over here and you spare me? Go have that conversation. All right. I'm about to close up on YouTube and Facebook. Hey, enjoy your Sabbath. Spend a lot of time with God, little time with self. I'm glad that you guys tuned in today. I hope you got a lot from today. I hope you got a new perspective. I think that's what matters. How you perceive things. Are you perceiving it the way the kingdom says it, or the world? Time to stand up, because it's sweeping across the nation. It's coming from the west all the way to the east. That's what it's trying to do. All right, y'all be good. Spend a lot of time with God, a little time with self. Enjoy the rest of y'all day.